Oh, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay, and I don't fucking know what I'm doing for this intro. Blah.
シュート外してプレイオフミスターケーキメーカー参上完璧な黒い泣きまでハイリスカスベジタリアンファイト挑戦状でオンザルの指受けは昨日燃やした夜明けを待って He's gone, he's gone 傷を増やした He's gone 最上級に手を伸ばして痛い目を見たって Maybe I'm gonna be a friend now 怖くなくなった Oh yeah フリースローで大逆転チャンスシスターボルケイの誕生マグマより熱い産声アウトサイダーハンティングショータイム陪審員をからかってこの世界を締め出されても確かめたくて He's gone, he's gone 地図を破った He's gone 最短距離を着飾った歌が並んでる Maybe I'm gonna be a flipping now 何を食ってんだ Hey, hey
Salutations everyone, I'm Nirubi and welcome back to Niru's Discussions. And possibly thinking is he colorblind now because he sees red as pink now. No, wait, I'm fine. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, well, anyway, sorry. Today is another topic of me rambling and shit that has been quite often of me talking about myself personally, even though I don't talk about any jack shit about me at all. So this is a video that I wasn't going to make, but the power of alcohol and edibles can make you want to say stuff. But anyway, besides that, I want to talk about portable gaming devices and how much they meant to me when I was a kid and how they still mean to me as an adult today. So my room is like cleaned up. It is now fixed. It has a better bed. It's now, and as my friend one of my friends described my room, it was like my room was giving pan pizza vibes, like my So, if you want to know what my room looks like, just imagine Pan Pizza's room in his videos, because all I'm missing is neon lights and I don't know what else I'm missing. All I can think about is neon lights. That way my room can look very dark and doesn't need like a lamp. I got movie posters galore, anime. I got like so many movies stacked up and video games. I hooked up my old Nintendo 64 and PS2 to my old TV set, There's like 3 game consoles connected to this thing: the Nintendo Switch, the 64, and PS2. And I can't play the N64 because I need a Nintendo 64 controller, which I don't know what happened to mine. I think it's because I gave it away to a friend, which was the dumbest decision I've made, because now I really want to play Star Wars Episode 1 Racer now. I could have bought it on the Switch, but then again, do I really want to? When I can just buy a controller and play it? I mean, to be fair, it was on sale for $7, and now it's back to $14.99, so the cost of a Nintendo 64 controller is the same price as Star Wars Episode Racer on the Nintendo store right now. But whatever. Now, this is gonna be something I really, really wanted to talk about, and that is portable gaming devices. Now, am I talking about, are portable gaming devices dead? And did the Switch killed it? Because it's more advanced than the Vita, and yeah, that's it. I guess Sony was the only one that dipped their toes in the portable gaming scene. Xbox didn't even try to. Maybe because they're owned by Microsoft and everyone already has Alienware gaming PCs and laptops, so I don't think they need to dip their toes in the whole portable gaming scene. But then again, they are coming with that UFO device, which I have talked about on the channel before. Gaming in portable devices, my brain just farted, sorry. Portable gaming has meant a lot about me in the past, and still means a lot to me in the future, despite, you know, during the recent pandemic times that we can't go outside a lot anymore because of the virus. But back then, as a kid, portable gaming meant a lot. Cell phones were not capable back then to port a copy of Tomb Raider on the PS1 to their phones. I mean, we didn't have the technology back then. All we had was our fucking flip phones, and we could just play motorcycle game where you race a bunch of players but you don't actually win on your mother's cell phone. That was me. That was always me. I always played a motorcycle game on my mom's flip phone back then. And then I had my own flip phone. Just no motorcycle game to play on it. And back then we had a lot of portable gaming devices until, you know, the Game Boy was the only one out there that was a portable gaming device, because the other ones no one gave a shit about. Nintendo dominated on portable gaming scene, and they really have. No one else has ever tried to fucking compete with them after the loss of the Game Gear. I was one of those kids that had a limited edition Pokemon Game Boy Color. It came with Pokemon Yellow, and I played the shit out of Pokemon Yellow on that Game Boy. I never had any other game else. I was not much of a gamer as I was as a kid back then, because, you know, I sucked at playing video games. I didn't know how to pass a level. I didn't know how to strategize back then. I was just a stupid kid who just took a controller and started mashing buttons until something worked when I yelled, "Work, damn you, work!" I just was not that smart of a kid playing video games. I played a lot of movie games, like The Incredibles on the GameCube, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on the GameCube. Yes, that's not a joke. Or at least a Star Wars game I played, like Rebel or Rogue Squadron 3, where you get to play as Luke Skywalker with his lightsaber on Tatooine and go into the Tadashi station. I think it was the Tadashi station that you flew in that game, but I don't know. No, but those are console games I'm talking about right now. And console games I barely touched, but I always had fond memories playing those console games as a kid. I have fond memories playing Hey You Pikachu and Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64. Only to realize we didn't have a memory card to save the games because... let's face it, I always had to play fucking Pokemon Snap on repeat all the time because I didn't have a memory card to save it. I've played a lot of games on the PS1 with Metal Gear Solid and Tomb Raider and Drive. I think Driver, yeah. Then I played Dreamcast, where the most memorable fighting games I played on that Dreamcast with my brother was the Marvel vs. Capcom series, both 1 and 2. Oh, I love the memories playing those games. And playing House of the Dead 2 also on there, that was also cool. And the GameCube, where I played Pokemon Coliseum, Star Fox Adventures, the Incredibles video game, as I said, aforementioned before, and the Robots video game. I forgot I played that too. I played a lot of movie games. What the fuck is wrong with me? But can you blame me? I was a kid. I didn't know much about video games. I didn't know what a Wind Waker was. I didn't know what Smash Brothers was. I didn't know what a GoldenEye Nintendo 64 game was. I didn't know what the best games were. I just picked games that I was familiar with names, not what they were based on. If they looked good to me, I would get it. That's it. I would rent it and then return it back to Hollywood Video or Blockbuster the next week after the weekend has passed. But those were, as I said, those were console games. And by why am I saying that as an opinion about like why are you saying that? It's because I moved a lot as a kid. I moved through different houses in my life as a child, and we never settled on a house until I was close to finishing elementary school and being kicked out a lot in different elementary schools because I was a terrible kid. But when I said I had fond memories of these portable game consoles, it was always the Game Boy when I was a kid. The Game Boy was just an entertaining waste of time for me. I mean, what was I gonna play? The Tiger Electronic games I get at McDonald's? Sure, they were a way to pass the time, but come on. I don't see myself playing those games on my off time. It was just something to just get things rolling when you're bored and have nothing else to do and the only thing you have is the shitty Tiger games. I played a lot of Shadow the Hedgehog basketball when I was a kid. And I don't even know how that fucking relates to Shadow at all. It's just that he's playing basketball. Seeing him with a gun, I'm like thinking, I thought he was a pro basketball player, but now he's into violence and guns. But the Game Boy was very limited when you were a kid. I mean, back then when we were kids, like when you had the Game Boy, you could only play it in a well-lit room or when the sun was up. You couldn't play it in the dark unless you had like unless you had a flashlight that you had to hold with your one hand and playing Pokemon on the other, which isn't that hard to do, but would you really want to do that when you hear a loud volume of like that and you hear it and your parents can hear you in the other room? Like, go to fuck to sleep. Because they will say that, because Jesus Christ, I always hid playing the games in secret, because you couldn't do that with a console game. I mean, I could have, but they didn't trust me having a console in my room. Sure, I had the 64, but I didn't know how to plug it in when I was a kid. I was incompetent. Sure, the backlights were installed on like a Game Boy, like not Advance, but there was a different Game Boy that, was it in Advance? I don't know. It was something that had a backlight. It was the flip one. You know what I'm talking about. The flip one. I don't know the name of it, but it was the flip one. But I was not a very rich kid. I was very poor. We had little to no game consoles. All the game consoles I was given to my brother. And he did give me a lot of games back then when I was young. And I appreciate that from him. He has given me a lot of consoles. He gave me his PS2 when I was really trying to get back into the Kingdom Hearts games, and I'm glad for him for doing that for me. And now, recently, giving me his old Switch just so he can get his Animal Crossing one. That didn't come with Animal Crossing, by the way. But we're going off track on this, but portable gaming means a lot to me. I know I said that twice already, but with the Game Boy, it was nothing. You just played it a little bit, and then you have to go to sleep because it was too dark out to freaking see what was going on. Now, I traveled a lot also, not just moved a lot as a kid, but traveled a lot. I couldn't take the game consoles I had. I was already satisfied watching movies on a portable VHS player with a mini TV screen. And that was enough to satisfy me. I mean, back then when we had the van, we still do, when we had our old van and you can plug like, you know, a TV in there and such. I had like the PlayStation 1 and my dad connected his portable DVD player and hooked it up with the PS1, and I played Metal Gear Solid on that portable DVD player in the van. I think I did. I remember playing it, and it was so surreal. Only I didn't know there was a PS1 that came with a mini screen, but hey, we worked with what we had because we were poor. And yeah, I was fine with watching only movies on a VHS player and watching the same movies I watched over and over again, or old cartoon recordings of Ben 10, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Jimmy Neutron, Danny Phantom. The list goes on of how many recorded VHS tapes of cartoons I have. I still have those VHS tapes, and they are begging to be played on a VHS player, which I don't have. I could go to the Goodwill and do that, but then again, Goodwill is like coronavirus central there, so I don't think that's a good idea. Gaming was not a big part of me, but then again, when playing video games a lot and everyone exposing you to video games like your brother and your sister, and you know, when I traveled a lot to go meet my two sisters when they used to be out of town, well, one of them is still out of town, but now one lives with me. I used to play a lot of games from people a lot, or I just watched people play video games. When we had a family reunion back in my old home and everyone took over my room, I remember seeing Kingdom Hearts for the first time on the PS2, and I really wanted to play it, but I didn't, sadly, because I had school and homework, so that was pretty shit. But seeing people play like Devil May Cry, RPGs, I don't know what RPGs in particular people were playing, but I remember there were, and I knew it wasn't Final Fantasy, because what game do you play where you changed the females' outfits to bikinis? I don't think it's Final Fantasy. Because I don't think you can change clothes in Final Fantasy. I mean, 15 you can. And I think, I mean, maybe the later games you can change clothes, but not the old ones. At least to my memory. And seeing Final Fantasy 13 on 6 disc on Xbox 360, like, Jesus Christ. All those games were so amazing to me. And people got me more and more into playing video games at the time, even though it was basically a luxury playing these games. But playing more on my GameCube with Star Fox Adventures and so forth with other games I've rented at the Blockbuster and Hollywood Video Store, but mainly movies because, you know, that was my thing. Watching movies, watching cartoons, that was what I did. I mean, I was satisfied not playing video games that everyone grew up with. Everyone was more of a gamer. I was more of a movie goer. That's all I was. But the more and more when my siblings got me so much more into video games, my brother with his original OG Xbox, and I played the Men in Black video game on there, and I can't remember what else. But on his PS2 when we played Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, or Vice City, just all those memories come flooding back about how fun they were and having a great time with them. And seeing with the Nintendo Wii with my sister where we played Super Mario Galaxy or Mario Kart Wii. I had fun with Mario Kart Wii. That game, even with the steering wheel, like, man, I had so much fun. I always mained as Rosalina in that game a lot because I had a huge crush on Rosalina when I was a kid. I started getting more and more and more into video games, including a lot from the GameCube, since there were still GameCube games being sold or being able to rent in rental stores. And it became a bit of a problem, honestly. You see, once I started getting into more with video games, it became difficult to go away from them. Sure, I can watch a movie, a TV show, but then you start to have that addiction of like, man, I want to go back home and play this video game. That's what happened. And it kind of started with Lego Star Wars 2 on the GameCube. I was so addicted to that game. I was addicted to finding every like mini kit's canister or every secret you can do in the game. Even trying to find glitches in the game as well. Like, it was such an addiction that when we had to travel again to go out of town, because again, I was a kid, can't be left at home alone, it was hard to get away from that because playing video games was like a big deal now to me. And it was hard. Was I gonna go back to the Game Boy? Of course not. Because it was in my closet. And back then my closet was a mess and I couldn't find jack shit there. So yeah, finding the Game Boy was gonna be a hard look to find for a kid that has an attention span that is easily distracted. And I'm still easily distracted. I have bad ADHD, man. But then, an important portable game console walked into my life. And that was the PSP. Now, people have more fonder memories with a Nintendo DS. Understandable. That's fine. People have more memories with portable Nintendo consoles because, again, Nintendo dominated on portable gaming. Like, they really dominated on portable gaming a lot, and they take pride in it. More than their consoles. But the PSP was technically trying to fire back in the competition to try and do portable gaming, and eventually giving up after the Vita, because no one sadly gave a shit about the Vita the same way no one gave a shit about the Wii U. That's a big oof there. And I wanted a Vita. I honestly did want a Vita at the time because the PSP was outdated, but then again, I still had Dissidia Final Fantasy, so that was a given. But anyway, the PSP was very important to my life. My brother gave it to me on my birthday. And seeing that PSP, because he knew how much I loved playing his back then. And the PlayStation Portable, he had Twisted Metal, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories. He had a lot of games there on his PSP. And I played them a lot every time he came over to, pray with us, because usually Sunday we pray a lot, and then he would stay over because my sister rented a movie and they watch it on the TV while I'm distracted playing Twisted Metal on his PSP. I don't remember the movie, but I don't remember what movie they were watching while I was playing it, but I do remember the first time I was introduced to PSP. It was 2008. It was 2008. The Wii came out. I was watching the movie Speed Racer, and I loved the movie Speed Racer. And I still do. I rented the Speed Racer video game for the Wii, and even used the Wii wheel for it. But then I didn't play the Wii that much anymore, and then started seeing my brother has a PSP, and I was shocked. It was a portable game console that wasn't Game Boy, and actually plays games that were meant for console, but more for a portable side to make it fit inside the game, and also the cartridge. Well, not the cartridge, I mean the memory stick. I don't know why I said cartridge. I was shocked. He was playing Grand Theft Auto, and I was playing it also, and I was like so amazed by it. I was so impressed by it that he eventually did buy me one for my birthday, and it was a limited edition Star Wars one, which I have right here on my in my room right now. Yeah. It's broken now because I destroyed it when I rage quitted on Dissidia Final Fantasy and I hit it against a Eiffel Tower lamp. Right now, I have this, the silver PSP. It sadly doesn't work anymore. It hasn't been on for years. It's collected a lot of dust, and it doesn't play the physical games anymore, sadly. So it's depressing that I might have to buy a new PSP, which I can't afford at the moment. Because I really do want to go back and play my old PSP games, which I still own. I remember playing a lot of RPG games on my PSP. As much as I did, the first beginning games I was so addicted to was Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron, and later addicted to Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron, or as I like to call it, Battlefront 3, but for the PSP. Even though Battlefront 3, how is that hard to say? Battlefront. Okay. Even though Battlefront 3, why does it sound bad when I say it? Battlefront 3. Even though Star Wars Battlefront 3 didn't get released, but it had a second life on the PlayStation Portable with Elite Squadron. That's not a joke, it's true, because when I saw footage of Battlefront 3, I was like, oh hey, that's just Elite Squadron, but with better graphics, so I guess Battlefront 3 saw a second life on the portable consoles. But I was just addicted to Star Wars games in general, and I wanted them all on my PlayStation Portable because I really wanted them. I had Lego Star Wars 2, I had Star Wars The Force Unleashed, I think that's it. Oh, I had Star Wars The Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, I think it was called. I had a lot of Star Wars games I was addicted to. Even Lego games, like Lego Indiana Jones, the video game. And I was addicted to that game so much. And since I was playing Dissidia Final Fantasy because Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep didn't came out yet and I was waiting for it, I played that and I had fun playing Dissidia Final Fantasy. And it was also a nice way to learn the stories about each Final Fantasy game without playing them, because they basically give you the cliff notes about what happens in those games. And I thought it was pretty cool. I always mained Titus and Cloud a lot in that game, and Squall, obviously. But then when the sequel came around, I mained a lot of Tifa, Yuna, and I forgot the other character I mained a lot also. But it was very fun playing that sequel more than the first one, because the sequel did a lot of improvements that I loved. Not only that, it had great music tracks from each game, and that was just cool. I love the music, especially since you can go into the audio library and you can just listen to the songs by themselves. And you have no idea how many times I listened to One Winged Angel. And let me be clear, the Advent Children version of One Winged Angel and the Advent Children version of Genova. Like, my god, those tracks slapped. Especially when I finally bought Advent Children on Blu-ray when I saw it on Walmart. Oh my god, it was so cool hearing that rocking soundtrack, man. My PSP was just used as a music used as a music player at that point, listening to all the soundtracks of Final Fantasy on the go, just getting me amped up, pumped, and just like ready to fucking like go. It was so amazing just hearing that music on the PSP, having the headphones on that you would probably break after like how many months in, and they already break and you have to buy new ones, and it's expensive to buy new ones because they're fucking $20 expensive. Ah, god. I remember my whole entire money, my allowance money, was like, they all went to headphones because I broke headphones easily, man. That was just insane. But anyway, having that PSP was so important to me because taking gaming on the go was just amazing. Playing an addicting game, being distracted by it, having fun with it, having it on the go was just something that's important to me, because seeing that gaming became a big part about me when I was young and then sooner or later become a teenager, it was just amazing because you can take it anywhere you want, have fun with it, even play it at night, which, let's face it, anyone who was a kid who had a DS or a PSP back then, we all have done this. We were in our beds, we couldn't sleep, and we had our game next to us and we would play it at night. But when our parents entered our rooms, because again we didn't have locks when we were kids, we would have to turn it off and try to have the volume down and just wait for them to get out of the room so they don't know we were playing it. And I've done that a lot as a kid when I had a PSP, because man, I just couldn't put it down. I even did that when I first got a cell phone. I was so addicted that I kept going to the music store, listening to preview versions of songs I listened to that were ringtones. But I even accidentally bought Family Guy ringtones on my cell phone. I'm amazed that I, as a kid, was stupid enough to accidentally buy them. The PSP lasted me for about, I don't know, a few years before I eventually moved on with a 3DS. But it lasted me a long time. I used it to play music. I used it to watch movies when I found out I could transfer movies into there and watch them on the go, so that was cool. I got a lot of mileage with that PSP, working as a game console, watching movies on it. It was just a good time to have that thing. And I played so much games on there, it's insane. I bought a lot of games on that PSP. And to eventually once we finally got a PS3 at home, I bought a lot of games for that PS3 as well. And it was just amazing how I got lucky getting these game consoles. Because sadly, once I broke my limited edition Star Wars one, I bought the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep version of the PSP, which is a huge disappointment because the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep site said, get this limited edition silver PlayStation Portable 3000 with this skin decal of Kingdom Hearts on your system, and it sounded cool. But guess what? It didn't come with that decal. Not ever. So I was ripped off when I paid $100-something for that thing and not got a decal for it. That's bullshit. I hated that. But I didn't hate the game. Birth by Sleep was amazing. I loved it. I played that shit out of it a lot when I was a kid. Even repeating the story until I got it. I was so addicted playing that game. It was probably the first Kingdom Hearts game I played on Proud or Standard mode. And because I really wanted to get like Aqua's like secret boss battle with Terra and fight Terra Nort basically, because I really was such a completionist with that game. I wanted to keep my money's worth on it. And after when I was done with it, I played Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. And because I was riding on a high on Final Fantasy VII gaming. I never played the first Final Fantasy VII, and believe me, I tried. I wasted money on a digital copy of it. Only I never got to play it because my internet sucked ass back then. And Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII is an amazing game. I played the hell out of the game. I loved it. I played it through like middle school and high school, and man, that game, I put so many hours in. And knowing the story of Sephiroth in that game, and knowing the story of Zack and how he met Cloud and how he became the person he became later on in the game until before he died, I say that was a pretty fun prequel game to go on. Probably better than Final Fantasy VII in general. Even though I never played the first game, I only knew a little bit about the story because, let's face it, that game's been spoiled to death for me that I never had a chance to play it. Like, after watching like Advent Children and playing Crisis Core, and seeing too many fucking memes on the internet, watching Dexter Manning from Sanity Not Included talk about that game also in Final Fantasy, and also making fun of it in the process that Cloud was gay for Zack. Yeah, it is. Final Fantasy VII was too well known that I couldn't avoid spoilers. But man, I remember playing the hell out of Crisis Core, wanting to complete the story, but not only that, wanting to do the side missions as well. Only since it was my first run around playing that game, I would accidentally trigger story missions. Like, damn it, I triggered a story mission. I was supposed to complete this side mission, but I fucking accidentally triggered a story mission. So it kind of annoyed me that I keep triggering story missions when I wanted to complete a side mission. And that was just terrible. Portable gaming became less and less more likely of me traveling on the go, playing the games. It became more of me taking it in school, playing the game, and then doing homework quickly, and immediately going back to the game and grinding at it as well. But then the PSP gaming really slowed down after Crisis Core. Because after Crisis Core, I think games went... Crisis Core and Dissidia 12, Duodecim, after those games, I think gaming for PSP kind of died down. And I mean that in a sad way for myself, because I wanted to get games that were good for the PSP, that were worth it. And with the power of YouTube, I think that's what killed it for me. Because I looked at games online and I'm like, no, that's not good, and that's not good either. That it started to die down. I think the last game I bought for that PSP was Black Rock Shooter the game. And that was it. I mean, I could have bought Ghost in the Shell, but I wasn't into Ghost in the Shell yet back then. So gaming for my PSP kind of died down. I mean, I still played with it occasionally, you know, not letting it die, keeping it alive and making sure that it was okay and it could still play video games. And I kept a good maintenance on it, giving it life again, but sadly, once the 3DS came, I got more addicted to that. And I wouldn't say it wasn't a bad investment. This was like the second portable console portable gaming device I bought with my own money. Keep in mind, I've only bought 2 gaming devices in my life. The rest I have on me was given to me as a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. I was lucky the Switch was given to me, so, you know, that's just luck. But the PSP with Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, I bought on my own. And the 3DS, I bought on my own because I really wanted to play Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. And was it worth it? Of course it was worth it. Not only was the 3DS backwards compatible with DS games, but actually, yeah, that's the only reason why it was good. It's because I loved playing the backwards compatible feature. I played more DS games on the 3DS more than fucking 3DS games. And I've only played 3 3DS games. Dream Drop Distance, Tales of the Abyss, and Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? No joke. But mostly, I played games that I really wanted to play back then. After playing Dream Drop Distance, I really wanted to play The World Ends With You. And I eventually did play World Ends With You. I found it at a GameStop. I bought it for $10, no joke, because I heard this was a rare game, and I thought that, oh shit, it's a rare game, that means it's gonna be expensive. But thank God it wasn't. It was only $10, I bought it, and I played it, and oh my god, it was such a fun game to play on the 3DS. And now I'm currently replaying it on the Switch with better graphics on the final mix version. So it's amazing how far we came today, that I played a DS game on the 3DS and now I'm playing it again on a Switch. It's amazing. I played a lot of DS games on the 3DS. I played Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 and Disgaea for the DS. Because I really wanted to get into the Disgaea games, and I never fucking completed the game on the DS. And now I bought it again on the Switch, and I'm already close to beating the Etna story mode, which is shocking because I never got to complete that story mode on the DS version. So it's amazing how I'm actually finally completing a story mode on Disgaea. I still haven't beaten Disgaea D2. That says something about me being a dumbass not completing games. But yeah, the 3DS was kind of an important console to have at the time for me, because a lot of my friends at the time had a 3DS. Now, did I play Smash Brothers with them? No, because I didn't have Smash Brothers at the time. I still didn't. But having the cool concept of actually, like, having a friend list and sharing friend codes with your friends and putting it on the 3DS so you can stay in contact with them and seeing what game they're playing currently was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty decent saying like, hey look, I'm friends with them on the 3DS, that's awesome. I even, when I turned on my 3DS again for so long, the battery is still like starting to blow up, so I have to replace the battery soon if I can afford it soon. But seeing the games I played on there, it's pretty interesting. I played Rhythm Thief, which was probably the only digital game I bought on the 3DS. And there's a few I kind of want to play for myself that seem interesting. I kind of want to play Detective Pikachu on this thing, so that seems something I want to do when the time comes. By the time the 3DS came out, well, not came out, by the time I bought one and played a lot of Dream Drop Distance, I did less and less traveling when I got older. As a teenager, I didn't travel as much. As a kid, of course I did. Why wouldn't I? I fucking was a kid. I couldn't be left alone at home, but as a teenager, I could. So traveling a lot hasn't been going around lately, which made less and less time for me playing on portable consoles, to the point I neglected my portable gaming devices. They haven't gotten the utmost proper care, they haven't been taken care of, they started collecting dust, and the more and more times I didn't charge them, they started to dwindle and started to age. The PSP can't play portable, like physical copies of games anymore. I tried recently, and all I heard was a concerning scratching noise. So that PSP is sadly dead. I don't know. I can't afford getting it replaced or having it fixed. I don't have the money for it. But if the time comes where I get a new PSP, that'll be fun to go and relive classic games if I can find my memory sticks and play them again. But yeah, gaming on portable devices hasn't been a big thing with me lately. And, well, back then, because I stayed home a lot. To which I started playing more and more of my PS3 and PS2 consoles a lot more. And that was pretty much of a concerning time. Portable gaming was so important to me because having gaming on the go was amazing. And it's still a beauty to me today. Like, I always want to have games on the go that I could never take with me. And the 3DS, the PSP were like the only survivors of me saying like, hey, that's cool. I can play games on the go, and it's games that I actually enjoy playing and never got tired of. It was an important thing in my life because if you traveled a lot when you were a kid, like long 8-hour drive road trips to go somewhere out of town and constantly getting bored of listening to the same old music and really need some variety, gaming on portable devices was like a dream come true for me. And it comes to the topic with the 3DS and the PS Vita being the last portable consoles ever, portable gaming devices of its kind to compete. It begs the question: when I gotten older, did portable gaming died? It kinda did. I mean, no one did portable gaming anymore. Like, it wasn't a common thing anymore. Like, the more we got older, the less we needed to travel, the less we have to get out of the house, the less we needed a gaming device to help us pass the time while our mother was grocery shopping. It was not common anymore to do portable gaming once you got older. And it's kind of sad. I mean, when you're an adult, maybe you have like a gaming PC like Alienware or something. For me, I couldn't afford those. Having these little devices, having the PSP, having the 3DS, those were a dream come true for me as a kid and a teenager. And even me as an adult right now, the Nintendo Switch is a dream come true of portable gaming. Like, you can take games that were meant for consoles on the go. You know, I don't care if I bought Mortal Kombat 11, The Outer Worlds, and what else? Like, freaking Devil May Cry 3 on my Switch. It doesn't matter. People are like concerned and saying like, Mortal Kombat 11 sucks because the graphics are not as impressive on the Switch as they are on the PlayStation. Maybe you're right. But honestly, I think a kid that grows up with better graphic consoles and gets disappointed at the graphics, I think they're very greedy and not appreciative of what they could get without throwing a fit. To me, this is impressive. I didn't care if the graphics were not that impressive. I don't care if it's a downgrade to a superior console that you can't take on the go. It's impressive to me that they got a game that's meant for consoles on a portable gaming system that you can take with you on the go without any hassle of lugging a huge big console around with you constantly. if I was a kid if the Switch came out when I was a kid back then, I would have lost my shit. How impressive that was. A gaming console that can take me on, that I can take games that were meant for consoles on the go, was an impressive feat. And it's still impressive to me how it is, how amazing they did it. Like, I say it's still impressive to me. And yes, I bought a lot of console games that were meant for like higher res systems that can do better performance than the Switch. But I don't care. Honestly, it's fun to have these on the go with you. Even though I don't travel a lot, even though I don't go places a lot, it's so fun to have these games on the go when you want to. Like, I don't have to like sit down and have my ass be hurt by like an uncomfortable couch while playing games all day. I can just simply take it out of the docking system and just lay down comfortably playing it on handheld mode. That's fun. I love that. The Switch is a dream come true. Is portable gaming dead? I say it's making a resurgence back. I mean, yes, I think PlayStation is done with dipping their toes on the whole portable gaming scene, but who knows, maybe they'll come jumping back on it. But hearing news about the UFO coming in and trying to be the better Switch, or as they like to be called, the Switch killer, I say portable gaming is making a bigger comeback, since now we have the technology to actually bring bigger games on the go. So I say portable gaming isn't dead yet. I say it's still got more decades in it. But yeah, portable gaming is still an important thing in my life. I mean, I did travel recently to see my sister and my nephew to celebrate his birthday, so you know, I had a good time going on the Switch playing World Ends With You on there and Mortal Kombat 11 while I was on the go. So yeah, I say the Switch, I'm glad I have the Switch on me, because you never know when you need a portable gaming device, and it's too true to form now than ever, having a device like that. Especially in a pandemic and you don't have any way to have fun with friends but be on Discord and playing Smash Brothers Ultimate with them online. So yeah, I think portable gaming is still an important thing in life. Bring friends together, have a good time, not relying on a console to lug around a lot. I say it's pretty good, and the Switch did a great job bringing portable gaming back to form, honestly. And it's a great history of knowing how we came so far in portable gaming. And by that I mean playing Tomb Raider on your cell phone after buying it on the Google Play Store or the iOS Store. What? But I want to hear. But you know what? That was my experience with gaming and portable systems. I had fun. It was a good time. It was like a dream come true, having games being played on the go. And the PSP was that dream come true at the time, and now the Switch is like a fully realized dream come to life. I mean, if you were a kid in the 2000s and 90s, a Game Boy, a PSP was like the most impressive thing at the time for you guys. And a DS and 3DS. So it was like something that we never thought would be possible. I can play video games on the go? Hell yeah. Like, it's an impressive thing. Whatever you're an 80s kid, a 90s kid, or an early 2000s kid, you know that portable gaming was like a big thing in your life if you were ever into video games. But I want to hear your stories, everyone. And I haven't done this before, but hey, go and leave a comment on this video and tell me if you had a good experience with portable gaming devices during your childhood, or whatever gaming console you had at the time that you had a good experience with that you like to share a history of. I like to hear from you guys, because at this point I've rambled like about an hour already talking your ear off about this, about my childhood, about how gaming was important to me after being forced to travel a lot. And I might have gone off the rails on the crazy train of this story, but hey, it is what it is. I ramble a lot and don't have a cohesive narrative. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, awesome. I'm glad you liked it. It means I'm doing something interesting. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, darlings.